Namaste. Why would one walk on the spiritual path? First of all, we need to define what is spiritual path. Spiritual path, it's like a boat. It takes you where you want to go. And being caught in the physical duality of this realm that we are in, we're experiencing a lot of suffering and pain in many different aspects in our life, obstacles, challenges, and everyone seeks long-lasting happiness, joy. But most importantly is to find our true divine nature, self-realization, enlightenment. Those are the same meaning, the same word. And it is innate in us. However, we accumulate so many things as we grow, and so many obstacles and challenges, and so why would one walk on the spiritual path? And there's so many benefits. Now, as far as the different spiritual paths, there are so many, and that's a subject for another video, short video. The benefits of walking the spiritual path is tremendous. But there's one aspect I didn't mention that is important. Most importantly, when you walk the spiritual path, you are with a spiritual teacher or a spiritual master who is guiding you. There is some form of initiation, and there is some sadhana, some spiritual practices and meditation. And it's constant, regular, with self-effort and discipline. And so when you embark on the spiritual path, it's like a boat, and you have to gear the boat where you want to go. With self-effort and discipline, you attain to what you want. And it's the same thing on the spiritual path. So the benefits are a long-lasting happiness that we look, finding some tranquility, equanimity, and serenity within ourselves that is stable, balanced. And one of the video we talked on divine love, about our true divine nature, when we talked about Sat Chit Ananda, about divine love. When we walk on the spiritual path, a spiritual awakening is happening. We're not lost in darkness. We are guided towards the light in order to reawaken our true divinity within ourselves. That pure bliss, that joyful ecstasy of Sat Chit Ananda that we talked earlier, which is Sat, truth, ever unchanging, absolute nature. Chit, ever expanding consciousness, and Ananda, which is our true divine nature. So walking the spiritual path also helped to alleviate a lot of pain and suffering that we're facing, lost one, if we have lost one, all kind of health crisis, or because we're constantly bombarded in this physical world that we live in. And when we attain a certain level, a certain spiritual balance, there is a deep equanimity within ourselves, and there's a beautiful blossoming and awakening taking place within the individual. So the requirement of walking the spiritual path is really being with a spiritual master makes a big difference. Especially in the yogic tradition, it can be a very powerful experience, and a phenomenal awakening may take place. So deep down, when you are walking on the spiritual path, you will encounter many obstacles. Possibly, everyone is different, but you will notice the deeper you go, the more you will attain equanimity, serenity, and bliss. and peace, and especially finding this expansion of consciousness, this expansion of embracing one, everyone, every living beings at oneself. So you row your boat, you row it exactly where you want to go, and you enjoy the ride because it can be quite a roller coaster. So the master who is there, the Satguru that I talk about in Becoming the Light, is one who can guide you, help you through the journey, to steer the boat and to go straight to liberation, to your true divine nature of Satchitananda.